Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison, and we have just wrapped up the non-conference season for Arizona football. Arizona won an impressive 3-0 with a 34-point win over Hawaii to open the season up. Followed that up with a 45-point win over Weber State, 48-3, and then capped it all off with their final non-conference game of the season, non-conference, and a Wildcat showdown as Arizona took on the Kansas State Wildcats in Tucson Friday night under the lights on Fox. Primetime game, primetime matchup. Very few college football games on. All the focus nationally on Arizona. And what do? They go out there and take care of business. Arizona jumps out to a 17-3 lead, sees the lead erased pretty quickly in the second half, making it 17 all. And then from that point on, it was a cat fight. It was an all-out brawl. Arizona, their defense led the way. Danny Gonzalez, the defense coordinator, did an excellent job game planning for Kansas State and Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson finished with minus 16 yards rushing. Minus 16 in comparison to last year, where he rushed for 110 yards against the Cats. Similarly, in terms of last season, he passed for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Friday night, 88 yards. Meaning, and no touchdowns, sacked once, so you can't count sack yards that much against Avery Johnson. Meaning, Arizona held him to 72 total offensive yards. What an impressive freaking performance, man. Unreal. But they led the way. A lot of adversity in the game. A blocked punt, a muffed punt that led to Kansas State's first score with the muffed punt, a field goal. The blocked punt led to a Kansas State touchdown. So 10 points right away given up in special teams, basically. Arizona basically only gave up 7 points with the 75-yard run by Kansas State to open up the second half. And then 3 missed field goals. It was ugly. Adam Ade, obviously, had a couple makes, but Michael Sagado Medina struggled, man. 3 missed field goals, a blocked punt, and a muffed punt. Not a good special teams day for Arizona. Again, they also hurt themselves with holding calls on the offensive line. It felt like every single player on the offensive line had a holding call. It was Oprah Winfrey. You get a holding call. You get a holding call. You get a holding call. Everybody gets a holding call. And unfortunately for Rhino Tapatoa, he had 3 of them. He racked them up. He racked up holding calls left and right. Eventually, they had to put in Tristan Bounds, who did an excellent job filling in. Mind you, Rhino is still coming back from a serious ACL tear last season in Game 6 of the season. So he is still in recovery mode to a degree. But a masterful job defensively by Arizona. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They dominated the secondary. They dominated time of possession. Arizona, yes, won by 6, 23-17. But statistically, they dominated on almost every single statistic. It felt like they were going to win that game by like double digits. Again, before the game, I predicted Arizona to win 31-17. It felt like we were heading that way, but some penalties cost Arizona in the red zone. Instead of getting a touchdown in situations, you had missed field goals or having to settle for field goals. But that can all be corrected during this bye week because now Arizona enters the bye week. They have an extra week to prepare for Iowa State. The Cyclones are coming off of a very close call against Arkansas State. They were trailing in that game at one point, or at least it was a 1-point game in that game. But Iowa State prevailed on the road against the Red Wolves, winning 24-16. Very good ball game, very physical, tough ball game. But they don't look like a perfect team. They don't look like a USC of the early 2000s or an Oregon with Chip Kelly and the coming out party, if you will, of Oregon football. They don't look like one of those teams that Arizona has faced in the past. And you go, man, I don't know how they're going to compete in this game. This is a very beatable team. Iowa State's very beatable. And now Arizona has an extra week to prepare. Noah Fifita against Kansas State had a career high 48 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. Was able to find the end zone and navigate his way and threw for 178 yards. Again, that total could have been higher. Some penalties negated some yardage. I think he could have gotten to at least 230. But I want to grade Noah Fifita. We do it every single week, grading of the quarterback. Most important position out there on the football field. Most popular, most important in terms of face of the program, gets all the heat, gets all the love, and really takes the team on his shoulders and can lead a team. That's quarterback. So let's get into it. I thought running the ball, he set out to have a goal this season to be more active in the running game. Did against Kansas State. He was able to keep drives alive with his feet, extend the plays, and find the holes and hit some big ones in the running game. This is this is his best rushing performance. It's career high with 48 yards. But, man, it was nice to watch. And it was smart runs. It wasn't trying to force anything. They were smart runs. And you know what? They had one right before half, and I called it. I was talking to a colleague of mine where, most teams are expecting you to pass, and maybe you do a quick QB draw and get them off balance, and all of a sudden you hit a 15-yard pickup, and you can get momentum going right before half. He almost hit that hole. He got tackled by a shoestring. If he hits that hole, he's going 25-plus yards. Arizona has a touchdown right before half. At the very least, gets that field goal and not a missed 60-yard field goal. So, excellent job on the ground for Noah Fifita. Passing-wise, there are a few plays I thought he missed out there on the football field where he overthrew the receiver or just didn't have the timing down. But he also had a couple drops. Watley should have caught one. Lawn bomb. It's a tough catch, but should have caught it. Some slipped through the receiver's hands. And overall, I thought, again, Arizona predicated itself off the running game because it was going so well, so there weren't as many passing opportunities. And some flags hurt him. But I thought all in all, Noah Fifita did a great job in the passing game. Not his best, not a game against Weber State, but it was a very good effort. It was very solid. I think it was one that Arizona needed. And he hasn't turned the football over. He has yet to turn the football over this season. No picks, no fumbles. Was he under duress against Kansas State? Yes, but they didn't give up a single sack. And that's highly impressive. When you look at the situation last year, Arizona gave up 28 sacks. They did not give up a single sack against a very damn good football team in Kansas State. Very fundamentally sound football team. And I know they're staring at the barrel at 1-3, but they're better than a 1-3 football team. So highly impressed by his performance there. And then just understanding the playbook. That's what I really look at. They're unlocking more of the playbook as the weeks go along. And now you have a whole bye week to get ready. Noah Fifita is going to be a Jedi Knight, almost Jedi Master of this playbook for you Star Wars nerds out there. It's a progression. He's learning 3 different playbooks in 3 different seasons. That's not easy. I don't care how smart of a football player you are. I don't care how seasoned of a football player you are. When you're learning different schemes that are very different and vast commodity of plays, schematically it's difficult. And Fifita is getting stronger game in and game out. He's getting better each practice. So I love what I've seen. Did it look great against Wyden? No. Did it look great against Weber State? Yeah. But it's Weber State. You should. Took care of business. And did it look good against Kansas State? I thought it looked solid. I thought it was a very good effort. He was able to make the plays when needed. And he didn't do too much with the football. And he got the ball out of harm's way. So when you grade the overall game of Noah Fifita against Kansas State, I give him a B+. I could have gone a little bit harsher and gave him a B. But again, there are situations out there on the football field that cause less yardage and less completions due to penalties. I'm not faulting Noah on that. And again, he won't speak of that because Noah's all about the team. He's going to shoulder the blame. But I thought his teammates let him down at times. Then again, though, Arizona was running the ball at a very high level. They didn't need Noah to pass the ball 40, 50 times in that game. They're going to run it right down Kansas State's throat. So I give him a B+. The The first game he had a B-. The second game he had an A+, 5 touchdown passes, 17 of 22, 373 yards. You can't be more perfect. So overall, thus far, Noah Fifita is looking at a solid B+, A-. Can he do more? Yes. Will he do more? Probably. Will he turn over the football at times? 100%. It's football. But, man, he is going in the right direction. He has Arizona rolling in the right direction. It's their first 3-0 start since 2015. That season ended in a bowl victory, on the road in the Shreveport Bowl. So, or New Mexico Bowl. I do apologize for getting the bowl games mixed up. I think they're going in the right direction. I think this Arizona team can be very dangerous. I love the defense. I think it's the best secondary in the Big 12 and one of the top 15 in college football. And as Noah gets stronger in this offense and they unlock more, watch out. It's going to be scary football for Arizona's opponents. So we'll have more coverage of Arizona football during this bye week, getting you ready for the following week as well. Be sure to check out our website, Arizona Wildcats on SI, or our Twitter account at Arizona Wildcats on SI, or follow me, Troy Hutchison, at THutch1995, and we'll see you next time.